Jai Shri Krishna to all. Welcome to Path to Anandam Gita series. Freedom from pains and miseries to happy, healthy and peaceful life. Based upon 108 mantras to awaken your soul. And Srimad Bhagavad Gita, my questions and God's answers. Today, the series 86, the secret key to realize your supreme goal of life. So we will all embark on to learn what is that secret key. So blessing to Guruji, Hariharji Maharaj, for giving us the wisdom, and Lord Krishna to put us together here. I'm Satya Kalra, your host for the program. And whatever you see on this page, it's all Guruji's guidance and blessings. And finding the path to Anandam, blissful life. How to go beyond worries, fears, selfishness, worldly challenges, miseries, and still enjoy your daily life and those challenges. So how to reach your eternal home? That's what our goal is, and how to reach. And today's Gita verse, chapter 15, number 5 and 6 will guide us that what is the supreme goal of our life, as we discussed last time. How to realize, that's what the main focus is today. And what are the hallmarks of the supreme soul and the spiritual soul who has realized that? And what are the benefits they reap and we reap? And how can we practice, not just in this session, but also at our home with homework and sankalpa, self-realization. All chapters 13 to 18. Whole Bhagavad Gita is to uplift ourselves. So, but this one is particularly focused on the Jnana Yoga and meditation and any question and God's answers. So let's pray to Arjuna as the confused, ignorant person facing many challenges and is still confused which way to go, what to do, what not to do, just like Arjuna. And when he prayed to Lord Krishna, then going through that blissful journey of Bhagavad Gita, listening to it, initially he said, Na jyotisiti Govindam. I don't want to do all this. It's too much. Like many times we do the same thing. It's too much. I don't want to even get involved with it. But after coming back to Bhagavad Gita, it happens in our life every day. So we want to reach to the level where we could say, Karishye Vachanam Tav, I do as you advise. So let's seek for the guidance very humbly by surrendering. Karpanye dosho pahte svabhava pachyami prashyami tvam dharma samudi chetaha यच्छसैस्यानि निश्चितं ब्रूहि तन्मे शिष्यस्ते हम शादि मां त्वं प्रपन्यम शिष्यस्ते हम शादि मां त्वं प्रपन्यम. My heart is overpowered by the weakness of pity. I have lost all my composure and my mind is confused about what to do and what not to do. Please guide us. What is the best for me? Please guide all of us. Whatever is best for us, not what we want. So I request you on behalf of everybody, because we are your disciples. We surrender to you. So let's embark on this blissful journey together and go through this self-purification, transformation, and uplift ourselves where we can experience Chit Ananda. I am Chit Ananda. So after listening to Arjuna's request, which Hariharji Maharaj always spoke about in many different words and different quotations and different messages. So here are all the messages together which apply to this particular subject. So Gita is a step-by-step spiritual instruction manual to live righteously. It teaches us how to know the supreme goal of our life, which we learned in the previous session, and how to attain it, how to realize it, which we'll be focusing today. And what is that goal? Eternal happiness, not just a regular happiness, kabhi khushi, kabhi gum. This is the eternal happiness. Nobody can steal it from you. Nobody can take away from you. Peace, oneness, ParamDham, self-realization, Chit Ananda, by living in the material world, Prakriti, Maya, and how to go beyond. Hariharji Maharaj. So out of 700 verses where Lord Krishna spoke, 574 verses and guided Arjuna how to go from a lower self to higher self through knowing the supreme power and supreme goal of your life. First 3 chapters out of 18 chapters, focus is on more on Karam Yoga, how to go from lower self to higher self, how to attain the supreme peace, Anandam, by doing selfless action, which is called Karma Yoga. Then next session, Bhakti Yoga, chapter 7 to 12, where Lord Krishna teaches us how to become his beloved by doing the action with love and compassion, and also going beyond our shortcomings, our bad habits, our limited mind issues. And now we are on Jnana Yoga, chapter 13 to 18, where in chapter 13 we learn who is Jeev, who is this body, Jeev Atma, the one which is operating this body, and then Paramatma, who is operating the whole universe. Vasudev Sarvamuti. So when we think Vasudev Sarvam Iti, that's the coming from chapter from 7 to 12. But here, he explains further that our body is made with 24 elements. Out of that is the 5 bhutas, all these 5 tattvas, along with the objects of the senses and objects and gunas and all those things body is made with, which makes us nurse this limited consciousness. Now, how can we go to experience the infinite consciousness of ours? So, as in chapter 13, he spoke creator and creation. In chapter 14, Triguni Maya, gunas. We are made with gunas. Every action, every thought comes from our aptitude, our swabhava, and then we perform our action accordingly. It's just like anything we think. I mean, when I'm doing this, first I have to think. Then I have to put an action toward it. But the thought comes from the mind. So that's what the gunas are. If we have a good thoughts, good action. Bad thought, bad action. All depends on the mind. That's what Lord Krishna is talking about here. And know your Supreme Personality. Now, we have to know this. Who is the more detail of Supreme Power. The more we know, the more we learn, the more we understand that what are these limitations are, and with these different actions, different yogas, karma yoga, dhyan yoga, bhakti yoga, guna, gyan yoga, how can we uplift ourselves? How does Gita help us go from lower self, from Vishad to Prasad? So chapter 15, Purushottam Yogo Nam. Purushottam. Uttam. Uttam Purush. That's what is the most highest conscious person. Why it is called Purusha? Purusha means when we are in the body. We are all Purushas. Body and soul. But Bhagwan Krishna is the highest of the highest, Purushottam. That's why it is called Purushottam. The path of realizing God as the Supreme. It is also actually, you might hear that Supreme calls self. But this self is not, we are talking about this myself, where it is a small letter of S. Purushottam, Supreme Self, is with the capital S. So always whenever you see a capital S, this is another name of God. So how to go from lower self to higher self, which is Chit Ananda. So union with God through the path of realizing God as the Supreme Self. That God, basically we're talking about the glory of God here. We will learn more characteristics, more virtues, more glory of Bhagwan Ji. So path of transcending from lower self to higher self. I put this image again, I changed a little bit, although this chapter is how to go beyond our attachment through passion to dispassion by knowing the glory of Bhagwan Krishna, Lord Krishna, Supreme Power. And here, the very first verse, Urdu Moolam, where Ashvashakam. So here is the, basically it is saying this whole universe is made with the upside down. What does it mean by upside down? We talked about it, but I'm going to go further again on this one. Upside down means the whole world, whole universe is coming from the Supreme Power. Means it's originated from there. And the thing which originate, they are the roots. And then when the roots are expanded into, root gives the birth to the stem, then branches, then flowers, then fruits, all this becomes the tree. So whole Prakriti is originated from these roots. And this is also given the metaphor of, or the icon with this mother nature, this prakriti, this whole universe, where God is created. We are here somewhere, or somewhere here. The stem, which is the Brahma. Here is the Brahman. The topmost is Brahman, supreme power. Then in the middle, the stem is Brahma. Why it is called Brahma? Because Brahma, Vishnu, Mahesh, Trimurti. Brahma is who created this mother nature, this prakriti. Based on what? How are we created? We are created based on our gunas. We are this whole mother nature. Anything in this universe you see has three forms: bad, good, and the best. Tamasic, Rajasic, Sattvic. Similarly, if our desires are very worldly, very selfish, we behave in basically it's ignorance. When we live in ignorance, we don't know what we are doing. We go into the lowest part, like animals. We become like animals. That's why it says the lower self, the pravarti of lower self, like animals. Then we have the desires, which come up and go, good and bad, as I said, which generates kabhi khushi, kabhi gam, kabhi achhi desires, kabhi bad desires, kabhi in the middle. This is all when we are too passionate. That is a Rajasic. I want this on the any cost. That's where all the corruption comes, because many times people fulfill their desires by many different wrong ways, which are not according to Vedanta's teachings or explained in our scriptures. And then we have good activities. We do the good, we think good, we listen good, we speak good. We go to everything is goodness. That is called sattvic nature. So here, this is a lower self. The middle, where we are living, our regular person lives like a Rajasic person, and then the sattvic, like sadhu sant, or when we are in a good mood, in a happy mood, not because due to the external world, but due to our inner happiness, then we are very calm, we are very peaceful, we are very giving, loving, caring, all these characteristics of God. Then we are at the sattvic level. So how to go? In previous chapter, we learned how to go basically from tamasic to Rajasic to sattvic, and from sattvic we become gunatik. We do not even expect anything from even our sattvic behavior. In other words, even we do meditation, but we do meditation not just to gain the calmness, but also to experience that oneness with Supreme. So we go beyond our guna and ultimately experience. Now, how it relates to us, this divine tree. Here, look at, our mind is up, our brain is up. Anything comes from any thoughts come from here. Those are the root for any cause. So this is where the roots are. And then when the roots start thinking about it, then sprouting, it goes into our action, it goes into behave on our body. So if we think good, we are more healthy, happy. But if we have too much resentment, too much negative thing, then what happens? We develop all this vishad. So if we live in vishad, then this is where we end up with worries, fears, insomnia, all the diseases, blood pressures, heart attacks, heart blockages, all cancers, immune responses go down, everything. This is all because of our bad thoughts, which mute. Our genes get muted. Studies show that our cells get muted with this. And then we lose our immune responses. Our system becomes very weak. And then what happens? But at the same time, if we have good thoughts, then we have the good branches, good stem. Here is the Very comparison to here is the Brahma. These are 7 chakras. These are spine. This which is relates to the 7 chakras. Based on that which our body performs, acts, and then all these branches come. So that's why it is called upside down tree. Now here, the whole subject of this chapter is how to cut it down. And Bhagwan Krishna Ji says, dispassion, detachment to unduly things, unduly attachment to our desires, too much passion. Then we can cut these roots, and they call it like a people tree. If we all have seen the people tree, you know, and that roots are coming down and down and down. And I remember when I was growing up, there was one people tree, and we used to hold those roots and dance around it and use it like a swing. And I'm sure you might have that experience too. But he's saying that those roots, the roots of desires, can be cut by dispassion. And then once they are cut, we go into the higher. Chit Ananda, that's where we experience our higher self, our calmness, our ultimate Chit Ananda. So again, I'm still talking about the previous subject. I have not gone to the new one yet. But here is what is the supreme goal of life? We learned from the previous chapter on verse 4. Tat padam tat parimargitam yasmin gata na nirvantanti bhuya tame vichade shabde yata pravarti prasuta purani. Then now the question is, how can I go beyond from lower self to higher self? From this, again, I put this tree. And what does it mean? How can I go when we are in the middle or in the lower or even the higher, tamasic, rajasic, sattvic? How can I can go the particular cycle of this birth and death over and over, come and go, come and go. How can I go beyond it? Again, cut down your passion, unduly desires. And here he says, but how can we do it? Now Lord Krishna is guiding us. Very first thing you do, first of all, you set up your supreme goal of your life. Set the goal that I want to go from my tamasic and rajasic and sattvic behavior to gunatit. And I want to go to merge with the Brahman. I want to reach to the ParamDham. That's what the whole supreme goal is. So one must have the supreme goal and seek to attain the supreme state, higher self, where one does not return. Means there is no more birth and death, no more miseries. Birth and death is a later on, but by doing this, there are no miseries, no yo-yo game. You are always calm, whatever situation comes, because at that time, we pray to God. And here it says the prayer must be, I surrender to that supreme primal Purushottama, Bhagwanji, from whom the creation has emanated since ancient times. So it's not like today it happened. That's why it is called Sanatan Dharma. Our Sanatan Dharma means eternal way of life, how to live righteously, how to fulfill your duties. So self-realization must be the supreme goal of life. That's what this verse says. So now, how to realize it? Now we know what is the supreme goal of our life is, to go higher self, self-purify, self-transform, and then self-realize, who am I? I'm Chit Ananda. So that eternal goal, again, it's a oneness with God. So what is that eternal goal? Here, it's a beautiful verse. Guruji always spoke about it, he sang about it. Nirmane moha jit sang dosha adhyatma nitya vinivratte kama dvandir vimuktaha sukh dukh sanger gachanti mura padam tat. Those who are free from egoism, nirman moha, free from pride and delusion, jit sang dosha, conquered fruits of attachment and aversion, jealousy. Jit sang dosha, who has overcome all these doshas one is carrying, shortcomings, vices, go beyond that, who has conquered. Adhyatma nitya, who continuously practice spirituality and always inclined toward spirituality. Vinivrat kama, free from craving. Here, craving has a lot of meanings. We could have the craving. This is all talking, this is when it comes to craving, that comes to the sense organs, our senses. Our mind wants something. My eyes have a craving to see certain things. My tongue has a craving to eat something. And my mind, my hands have a craving to do something, and my feet have my whole system has a craving to go somewhere. And this nirman moha, if you look at all these characteristics, what he's talking about, it's all we have already studied in chapter 12, verse 13 to 20. Adveshta sarva bhutana mitra karun evcha nirmamo nirhankara. See, nirmamo came so many times, moha came so many times, sangha came so many times in Bhagavad Gita. And here says again, kama. I think I have read kama more than 50 times in Bhagavad Gita. Nivratti kama, free from craving. Dvandir vimukta, liberation from the pair of opposites. First Adesh was given to Arjuna. Go beyond Triguni Maya, Nistray Guna Bhav Arjuna. Dvandir vimukta means likes and dislikes. I like this, I don't like this. I like this kind of food, I don't like this kind of food. I like this kind of people, I do not like this kind of person. I do not like this kind of places, I like this kind of places. But everything it's a two sides of the coin. Day and night, good and bad. They're there, these opposites are there. Then what does it mean, liberated from the pairs of opposite? When they are there, then how can we liberate ourselves? This is where the whole Bhagavad Gita talks about, and this chapter and the whole chapter 13 to 18, how to get freedom from these opposites in life, likes and dislikes. Again, sukh dukh sanyam. See, again, giving the explanation, when we get this, we like sukh, we don't like dukh. Although dukh makes us more stronger, we learn from it. All these challenges, if we sit back, then what happens? We think about it, that how strong I became after coming from this particular situation. What did I learn from it? So I do not repeat again. So this sukh dukh, we always pray to God, please mere ko sukh dena, mere ko sukh dena. Lekin sukh is as important as dukh, and dukh is as important as sukh. They are both the same two sides of the coin, just like day and night, dark and light. If there was no day, then how could it be night? And if there is no night, we will not appreciate day. So there are certain days, time we do certain things. We sleep at night, which is important. So night is as important as day. Without sleeping, without resting, And day is as important to do all the actions. So every opposite is very important. However, we do not imbalance our life. In other words, we do not sleep during the day and we do not just be awake at night. We do not eat only sweets, but we also eat the salty food as well. We don't, even if you think about, we can't just sit and do meditation and all the spiritual 24 hours, but if we live in that consciousness, then we try to live in righteousness. And that's what it means here. Keep a balance, 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 balance. Vimukta, liberation from passion. Again, vimukta. Once we have all this, then we will attain the supreme states. Oneness with God, the Chit Ananda. So we have to practice all this. And these, when one person practices it, these become the hallmark of a spiritually evolved person, because he or she is free from all these. So these are the prerequisites and ingredients to attain our supreme goal. And how to do it? It comes into the next verse. What are the benefits we get? Reach ultimate destination, ParamDham. Many times people ask, what is ParamDham? Here is a good definition of the ParamDham. Na tad bhasate suryo na shashanko na pavakaha. Yad gatva na nirvantante tat dham paramam. My supreme abode, eternal home, ParamDham. Here it says ParamDham. ParamDham is a place from where one does not return to the material world. Yad gatva na nirvantante, the one who goes there does not come back. In other words, they go beyond birth and death. And reaching, word after reaching, he merges with me and attains oneness with me. So ParamDham, when there is a oneness, it cannot, but it also says it cannot be illuminated by the sun, moon, and the fire. Surya, Shashanko, Napavaka. So definitely we know the moon cannot do it, because moon does not have its own light. It gets from sun. Fire cannot be ignited without there is a matches, there is some mean of doing it. But sun has that capability. Sun is the one who gives the light to the moon when moon comes in front. Also, fire, and good example is many times when there are places people do havan, they do not use any external help like any candle or anything. But what they do, they put that particular wood under the sun, and when it catches a fire, then they start their havan. And we did these experiments when we were in physics, how the sun with the glass, you put the paper under the glass and the sunlight comes and the paper catches the fire. So this is the same concept here. So this is what God is assuring us, that once you practice ParamDham, even the sun, who can ignite the rest of the things in the world, cannot shine me. I am beyond the millions of lights if you put even all sun together. I'm beyond that. It means that is so much lighted. Here I can put the light here. And basically, we also learned this in chapter 8, verse 28. What is ParamDham? ParamDham is not just this dham where you think you go up and up, which is, also in Vedas it says, or the description of ParamDham, this Mrityu Dham, this Bhudham, and Shiv, all these different lokas. And ultimately, this ParamDham is the highest loka. Brahma, it is called Brahman Loka. But also, it is when in chapter 8:28, it says that the ParamDham means when you are totally in peace, in calmness. You do not feel the body anymore. You are filled with only the divine Shakti. That is also called the ParamDham, which we usually practice in our yoga meditations. So ultimate goal, freedom from sanskaras, means freedom from birth and death, from pains and miseries. So we experience healthy, happy, and peaceful, blissful life, and also attain eternal bliss. We reach to Brahmaloka, our ParamDham, in this state or this state. Ultimately, Chit Ananda, and we experience Aham Brahmasmi. So now, this is the basic we learn. And this chapter is also called, this subject today called the secret key to attain supreme goal. So we learn the secret key. Now how to practice it? Unless we practice it, Gita is all about practicing it. Here I put the step by step. We have to go step by step. Practice, 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 practice here. So how can we practice? As chapter 13 mentioned, and it previously mentioned, become a witness. Another name of God is Sakshi, witness. So we become witness, we observe ourselves, how we are progressing every day, whether we live in the consciousness of Vasudev Sarvam Iti, we surrender. But we have to set the tone of our day by reading Bhagavad Gita in the morning, or 108 mantras, or 3 mantras, Om mantras, whatever resonates with us. Reading Ramayana, Guru Granth Sahib, whatever resonates with your system. But start your day by doing this. And then during the day, now here comes a practice part. We must take care of our body with exercises, with yoga, with pranayam, with meditation, to balance our, basically, calm our mind down, because we face many challenges. But one thing I caution everybody, when you are really upset or facing tremendous challenge, which has shaken you up like an earthquake, at that time, please do not do meditation. Do not sit, because you will not be able to do that. Then it becomes you definitely do yoga and pranayam first. Make your body tired, so your body start releasing some endorphins in the system. And then you do with the pranayam, then you focus your breath. So now your mind is focusing on the breath and your body is calm. Then you use your Om mantra and then go into meditation. So this is a tip I want to share with you. So this is, you should always remember that, because we face many challenges and we just say, okay, let me sit. And then other thing, you can do that. You can just go and sit at your meditate place in the temple. You have it at home, or your Baba's room, Guru Granth Sahib Ji jahan par hote hain, wherever, you just sit there. And then even you have to cry, even you have to, whatever you do, just sit there. And because the vibration in that room is so strong, that will automatically help you too, because it will be showering you with that calm vibration. But we must be practicing during the day. At least one thing, whatever vices we think, or we think that we should improve upon it, then we live in awareness of which guna is overpowering, which attachment is empowering, how can I detach myself, and then we should act upon it. So this is how we will go from our tamasic to rajasic, and rajasic to sattvic. In other words, from ignorance to passion, passion to goodness, and we will self-purify and self-transform. But the surrender is the key. And we will, little by little, we will start surrendering, and ultimately going beyond our miseries, birth and death, and pains and challenges. and we feel calm, peaceful, eternal happiness, and one with supreme power. And ultimately, goal is here, reaching to ParamDham Brahman. So that's why we are here together on this blissful journey to experience Chit Ananda. Who am I? How can we go from Jiva Atma, from this current body to ParamDham, our eternal home. असली घर वही है जहाँ सुख शांति है. So man to God. So by practicing in the evening, evaluate ourselves and go. सर्व धर्मान परित्यज्य मामेकम शरणम ब्रज अहम त्वाम सर्वपापेभ्यो मोक्षयिष्यामि मा शुचि. And homework again. Do I have my supreme goal of self-realization goal? Do I have the ingredients of my supreme goal? Today we share that. So we have to focus on that, those prerequisitions. Am I aware of my qualities and behavior, which is very important? And what am I attached to? Make a list of it. What are the vices? What are the pravartis? What are the swabhavas I want to change? Do I surrender? Do I do spiritual practices? Am I sakshi? Do I live in awareness? Do I do my meditation? Do I have this goal of reaching to supreme? So this self-inquiry, swadhyaya abhyasam, is very important. And by doing that, as Swami Vivekananda said, arise, awake, and stop not until the goal is reached. Stop not until the goal is reached. So continue on this journey. And our sankalpa is, I am at ParamDham. It says, if fake it. If not there, just fake it. That I am at ParamDham. Just feel that, get that feeling that, yes, I am at that peace. I am that eternal happiness. So the mantra today is, I am at ParamDham. And by practicing, by having this sankalpa, little by little, our seed will sprout, which is, I think it has sprouted. We are somewhere here. With the leaves are there, some fruits are there, some flowers are there, and some fruits might be there too. So by studying Bhagavad Gita, we are at our beautiful journey, blissful journey. So continue on this journey. And thank you very much for attending. The key to attain the supreme goal of your life. In other words, reach your ultimate home, eternal home, which is called ParamDham, oneness, and beyond, get the freedom from miseries and pains, and experience happy, healthy life while you are living and beyond. So thank you very much for attending.